because look,
Yeah.
I've stood up for Chapek a lot. I do think he unfairly gets targeted a lot with the fandom, like a lot. Like I even said the other day, like
The Cosmic Rewind. I saw the tweet.
yeah, it's like come on, it's like the fans want to say the buck stops here with Chapek, but then when
Right.
something good comes out, suddenly he's nowhere to be found in the conversation. If the buck stops here with Bob,
he's at Iger's house having dinner.
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if the buck stops here with Chapek, then the buck stops here with Chapek. Then you got to give him credit for the good, right? You just got to. But that's the thing. It's like I don't.
I
hate
can't
the
stand
guy.
the petty. I can't stand the pettiness. More so, like online. It's like when you nitpick and you dissect every little thing. It's like, yeah, you say it where where. I'm trying to think how to put this. Where you say where it hits the most, you give him the praise that he deserves when it happens. But
Right.
it's like when you take the little nitpicky pettiness things, and it's like, really, that's really what you have during your time. That it's like you're worried about that. It's like,
well, it's like the time when he was out. Me and Dre, we did a video on this, Dre, like where Chapek was literally out with guests, mingling, trying to like,
and
talk-
he did that little hand thing or something.
right. And he's
My
talking,
hands don't scan. Yeah.
Everyone's screenshot.
and he was talking to guests, and then the big thing on social media was, "Where's his name tag?" It's like, shut the up, man. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
The guy's out there doing everything you want him to do. Daddy Josh does this, and you all swoon over Daddy Josh. Let the guy do his thing. He's trying. He's not an extrovert. At least give the guy some credit for trying, and people nitpick the hell out of him. It's just crazy, man.
Hey, Cosmic Rewind was $350 million. I mean, that's not a small chunk of change right there. And they end up, pulling it off pretty well. Now, were there cuts made? Yeah, absolutely. But the final product is actually pretty good, from the reviews I'm hearing. So you got to give him credit.
And then everyone on Twitter, but that started under Iger.
Right. And you know what else started under Iger? Pixar Pier. So if you want to give him credit for the Cosmic Rewind, then you should give Bob Iger credit for Pixar Pier. But they don't do that. See, the Pixar Pier is a bad thing in most fans' minds. So that goes to Bob Chapek. The good shit, though, that was all Bob Iger. That was all. Come on. It's stupid. It's stupid.
It's what they do, though. It's what they do. Now, look, listen. I mean, these guys. It's like they my example that I always bring. It's like Chapek's walking into the Village Haas and going, "Oh yeah, that chicken sandwich, that's got to be $15.97. It cannot be $13.99." It's like he doesn't. He's the CEO. He doesn't operate on that level. Obviously, he has mandates. Obviously, he has instructions for his division heads and so forth. But come on, he's not. He's not the guy getting rid of Hoop-Doo Review or whatever, or getting rid of Finding Muslim. He's not that guy, right? He is, he's running the entire company, and honestly, right now, Daddy Josh, he's in the position, right? And so when it comes to the operational realities of these things, that's gonna more fall in Daddy Josh's lap than it is going to be Chapek. But when it comes to big capital expenditures, Chapek's going to have a role in that. And to his credit, he actually did, fulfill Cosmic Rewind. And from what I understand, people like it.
Kind of interesting because when Tom Staggs was chairman of the parks and Iger was CEO, everything that was mentioned in the parks, Staggs was a heavy hitter, which he was. But I'm just saying this to make a point. And then there's Bob Iger as the CEO.
Right.
Now that Josh is running the parks, it's like, okay, nowhere to be found, not seen, not heard, not spoken for by the Disney fans. But it's the CEO's issue rather than the parks chairman.
Yeah, the buck. That's a laughable thing with fans. The buck only stops here because that's the convenient way to blame Chapek. The buck didn't stop with the CEO when Pixar Pier premiered in 2018 and Iger was the CEO. No. Then the buck didn't stop. Here it was Bob Chapek. He ran the parks. Everything stops with Bob Chapek. It's convenient where we always blame Chapek for the bad shit. And look, the guy wouldn't have been my first choice, but we got to be intellectually honest with ourselves and at least give credit and blame where it should be. That's all I'm saying.
And a lot of people have to understand it. Even though he is the CEO, there's many other arms of the company that people are intertwined working on this stuff.